Well, hello there, folks. Welcome back to the channel. It's good to be with you all again. Today, I want to talk about something that I think many of us, those of us who've got a few miles on the odometer, might be noticing. Sometimes, our bodies and our feelings give us little nudges, little signs that things might be shifting, and not always in the way we expect. And sometimes those little things can actually be more important than they seem at first. Now, I'm not a doctor, mind you, but over the years, you learn a thing or two about how your body works, and you also see things happen with friends and family. So, in this video, I want to share some of the more subtle changes I've observed, things that we seniors might feel ourselves, deep down. It's not about big medical scares, but more about those quiet signals our bodies might be sending us as we go through this stage of life. Recognizing these little clues can help us take better care of ourselves, support one another, and maybe even have those important conversations with our families and doctors when we need to. You might be surprised to learn that these seemingly small changes can sometimes tell us a lot about what our bodies are going through. And knowing what to look for could make a real difference in how we approach our well-being in these years. We're going to chat about feeling that deep down tiredness that just doesn't go away, changes in how our food tastes and whether we even feel like eating, and also that feeling of maybe wanting to be alone more, not enjoying the things we used to. These are the kinds of things that we seniors often experience ourselves. So, let's sit back, relax, and take a look together, shall we? Stick around until the end, because understanding these subtle signs could be more important than you realize. Okay, let's talk about that first sign, the one I hear, though many of my friends mentioning, and frankly, I've felt it myself too, that deep down tiredness that just doesn't seem to go away. It's more than just feeling a little weary after a busy day. This is a profound lack of stamina that sticks with you, no matter how much you rest. Think about my neighbor, Mary. Before this past year, Mary was always on the go. She volunteered at the local library, she walked her dog twice a day, and she was always the first one to offer help with anything around the neighborhood. But lately, it's been a real change. I'll see her sitting on her porch swing, just watching the world go by, when she used to be out there tending to her flowers or chatting with folks passing by. She told me the other day that even getting dressed in the morning feels like a huge task. She has to sit down multiple times just to catch her breath, and it's not just physical things. She mentioned that she even feels too tired to concentrate on her books anymore, which was always her favorite pastime. This isn't just about slowing down a bit. It's a significant drop in her overall energy that has really impacted her daily life and her enjoyment of things she used to love. Then there's my friend Bob. Bob was a passionate gardener. His backyard was his pride and joy, filled with colorful vegetables and beautiful flowers. He'd spend hours out there, rain or shine. But over the last few months, I've noticed his garden looking a little neglected. When I asked him about it, he sighed and said, I just don't have the strength to do it anymore. I go out there, and after just a few minutes, I feel completely drained. He even had to give away his beloved tomato plants because he simply couldn't manage them. It's been tough for him because gardening was such a big part of his life, and now this lack of energy has taken that away. It's more than just feeling a bit tired after working in the garden. It's a deep, persistent fatigue that prevents him from doing something that brought him so much joy. This isn't just about feeling a bit older or needing to take more breaks. This is a persistent, overwhelming tiredness that affects your ability to do everyday things and enjoy life. It's that feeling of wanting to do something, but your body thus won't cooperate. So, if you're noticing this kind of deep and constant fatigue, pay attention to it. It's different from the usual aches and pains of getting older. It's a signal that something more might be going on, and it's definitely something worth noting and maybe talking to your doctor about. Okay, let's move on to the second sign, which is something I've heard quite a bit about too. Changes in our appetite and how food tastes. It's more than just being a little less hungry sometimes. It's a noticeable and persistent shift in our desire to eat. As we get older, our bodies naturally go through changes, and that can definitely affect our sense of taste and smell, which play a big role in how appealing food is to us. Sometimes, medications we might be taking can also have an impact on our appetite or how things taste. But when we're talking about a sign that might indicate our final year, it's often a more profound and persistent lack of interest in food, even those dishes we used to really enjoy. You might find that you just don't look forward to meals anymore. Things that used to smell delicious might not have the same appeal. And even when you do take a few bites, you might feel full very quickly, even if you've hardly eaten anything. This can lead to a significant decrease in the amount of food you're eating each day. It's also important to pay attention to whether you're losing weight without trying. Maybe your clothes are starting to feel looser, or you've noticed a change in how you look. Unexplained weight loss in seniors can be a sign that the body is slowing down and not needing or processing food in the same way it used to. I remember my friend, John. He used to love his morning coffee and a big breakfast. He'd always rave about his wife's blueberry pancakes. But over the past few months, he's barely touched them. His wife tells me he just picks at his food and says nothing tastes quite right anymore. He's lost a noticeable amount of weight, and it's worrying because he used to have such a healthy appetite. For John, eating used to be a real pleasure, a social event even, but now it seems more like something he has to do rather than something he enjoys. This shift in our relationship with food, from something enjoyable to something that feels like an obligation, can be a really significant indicator. So, if you're finding that your appetite has drastically decreased, things don't taste the same, and you're losing weight without trying, it's definitely something to take note of and discuss with your doctor. It could be a sign that your body is going through some significant changes. Okay, let's talk about that third sign. And this one can be a little harder to notice from the outside, but it's something we might feel quite strongly ourselves, that growing sense of wanting to be alone and losing interest in the things and people we used to enjoy. As we get older, it's natural to maybe slow down a bit and appreciate some quiet time. But this is more than just wanting a peaceful afternoon. It's a noticeable withdrawal from social activities and a lack of enthusiasm for hobbies or spending time with friends and family that used to bring us joy. You might find yourself not wanting to answer the phone as often, or you're making excuses to avoid getting together with your regular coffee group. Even those hobbies you were once so passionate about might start to feel like a chore. That fishing trip you looked forward to all year. Suddenly, it just doesn't seem appealing. The weekly card game with friends, you might find yourself hoping they cancel. It's different from just needing some alone time to recharge. This is a more persistent feeling of wanting to be isolated, a lack of motivation to engage with the world around you. Sometimes, it can even feel like a burden to interact with others, even those we love. My friend, Eleanor, she used to be the life of the party. She was always organizing get-togethers, volunteering at the church, and had a calendar full of activities. But over the past several months, she's become much more withdrawn. Her daughter tells me she rarely leaves the house anymore, and she's stopped calling her friends. Eleanor used to love knitting. She made beautiful scarves and blankets for everyone, but her daughter found her knitting bag untouched in the closet. When her grandkids come to visit, she's happy to see them, but she seems tired and doesn't engage in their games like she used to. It's like a light has dimmed in her, and she just doesn't seem to find pleasure in the things that once made her happy. This kind of withdrawal and loss of interest can be a significant sign that someone might be nearing their final year. It's a reflection of a shift in their inner world, a natural turning inward as the body and mind prepare for what's to come. So, if you find yourself or someone you know increasingly wanting to be alone and losing interest in the things that once brought joy, it's definitely something to pay attention to and consider as part of the bigger picture. So, let's take a moment to really think about what we've talked about today. We've explored 3 changes that many of us as seniors might start to notice within ourselves, and while they might seem like just part of getting older, they could actually be telling us something more important about our overall well-being. First, there's that overwhelming and persistent feeling of being utterly drained, no matter how much sleep we get. It's not just feeling a little tired after doing some chores. It's a deep weariness that makes even simple things like walking to the mailbox or getting dressed feel like a major effort. It's that sense that your get up and go has just gone. Then, we talked about how our relationship with food can change. It's not just about not being as hungry as we used to be. It's more like food just doesn't taste the same, or even our favorite meals lose their appeal. We might find ourselves feeling full after just a few bites, or simply have no desire to eat at all, sometimes even leading to unintentional weight loss, which can be a bit concerning. And finally, we touched on that feeling of wanting to withdraw from the world a bit, that lack of interest in socializing with friends or participating in activities we once loved. It's more than just enjoying some quiet time. It's a noticeable shift where we might prefer being alone and find less joy in connecting with others or pursuing our hobbies. These are the kinds of personal experiences and feelings that are worth paying attention to. Now, it's important to remember that everyone is different, and these signs on their own might not mean anything serious. But if you're experiencing these changes, especially if they're happening together or seem to be getting worse, it's really worth paying attention to. Listen to your body. Folks, it often tells us what we need to know. And please, don't hesitate to talk to your loved ones or your doctor about what you're feeling. Sharing these changes can make a big difference. Your doctor can help you understand what might be going on and ensure you're getting the best possible care. For those of you watching who have seen your loved ones, I hope this video has given you some insights into what they might be experiencing. Remember to be patient, understanding, and offer your support. Sometimes, just knowing that someone cares can make all the difference. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And if you know someone who might benefit from this information, please share it with them. We also love hearing from you in the comments, so feel free to share your own experiences or thoughts. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel for more videos on topics important to us seniors. Thanks for spending your time with me today. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video.